everyone, it's Ashley here, and I just wanted to do a quick video because we just found out we're pregnant. So, if you didn't watch, I do have a live pregnancy video. I have one that I took that was negative, and then 2 days later it was positive. So I will link to that on the video here, and then also in the info box below. So make sure to go check that out. It was super exciting and super unexpected. So if you don't watch that, I'll just give you a quick brief overview of kind of what happened. So this was our second cycle that we were trying and hoping to get pregnant, and we on 10 DPO, so a lot of people get positives already by 10 DPO, but for me 10 DPO was the day before my period was supposed to come, so seemingly I would have gotten a positive. But I have a very short luteal phase. I have like a 12-day luteal phase, where pregnancy tests are based on a 14-day luteal phase. So I took a pregnancy test, a first response, the morning before I was supposed to get my period. It was negative. My period never came. The day that I was supposed to get my period, I took another first response, and that too was negative. So I just assumed, well, AF must be coming today, because because she was supposed to come and I was getting negatives. And I also have a video about that and kind of my confusion with all of that, so you can check that out here, and I will link to that as well in the info box below. But then the night of, so I took that video because I really wanted to test, but I didn't want to at the same time, so I thought I'd do a video about it anyway. Well, I did end up testing later, and I used just a dollar store test, and it ended up being so extremely faintly, barely, hardly visible to my eye positive. But it was definitely there. Like, it was, you could see each side of the line, and it was all shaded. Like, it was obvious there was a line, but you had to just really look at it and really like block everything out. It was so hard to see, but it was super, super, super positive, or super, super, super faintly positive. So I got that because my period hadn't come that whole day, so I thought something was up. And then I did take one again the next morning, which really was only like 10 hours, if that, a difference. So I didn't really expect it to be much darker, but I did want to take a first response and see. So I took a first response, and then, nothing showed up right away, and so I was like, oh no, I was all nervous that it was negative. And by right away, I mean like as the liquid's moving across, I expected to see a little bit of a line or something, because I did get the positive the night before and it didn't show up, and I kind of watched it for like 10-20 seconds and nothing was really showing up, and it was kind of starting to clear up. So I was pretty down, and then I was like, no, I need to leave and come back. So I came back 3 minutes later, and there was a line. It was super faint, very hard to see. I couldn't barely pick it up on camera. If you do watch the live pregnancy test video where I do get my positive, there is a picture on there where I try to get it the best I can, but it was really hard too. So later that day, I did go and take a digital, and also on that same video you can see me taking that one as well, and it did show up pregnant. So I am definitely, absolutely, positively pregnant, and I am so excited. So right now we are 4 weeks and 4 days pregnant. I meant to do this video. I tried doing it 2 days ago and yesterday, but my daughter didn't take very good naps and kept trying to be in the video, and it was just really hard. So I'm trying again, and I wanted to do this video to talk all about my symptoms that I had early on, and the symptoms that I had before getting my positive, or before what would have been AF's time to come. And these are only going to be the symptoms that are different for me than my regular PMS symptoms. So anything that kind of overlaps, because there's a lot of symptoms that can be the same for PMS or if you're pregnant. So those for me that happen this time around because of pregnancy, but they usually also happen with PMS, I'm not going to include those. So these are only the different symptoms that I had. And there are 4 or 5 of them, or something like that. So the first one that I noticed was acne. I broke out all over my chin, and I never really break out. Sometimes I'll get like 1 or 2 pimples, but I never like break out, except for when I was pregnant with Sophia. In the first half of that pregnancy, actually throughout the whole thing, I broke out all around, like, around my hairline, and then my chin, and then even like on my shoulders and stuff. So I really had to, you know, like wash everything really well often. So I broke out with her. So the fact that I was breaking out and they were in these patches, especially down around my chin, definitely clued me into the fact that I might be pregnant. And granted, at the time when I was getting these symptoms, I just chalked them up to PMS or just monthly whatever, because I had a really hard time the month before with like symptom spotting or whatever it's called, where you like every symptom you hear of or think of, you mentally give yourself that symptom, you know? And so anytime this month that I got a symptom, and because I wasn't pregnant last month, anytime this month that I got a symptom, I was like, no, like it's not pregnancy, it's just life, it's just normal, whatever. But looking back, that was definitely one of them because that was new. Secondly, nausea. I had nausea off and on, not a lot, but usually kind of like late afternoon is when I would get it, and never threw up or anything like that, but just kind of like that queasy feeling that you get right before you're going to get sick. And I know a lot of women say that, and I would definitely agree that that's how I felt. Like I felt like I was getting sick, and it would always kind of happen around the same time every day. And I think, you know, that's usually the time of day that I'm most tired as well, and usually it's kind of in between meals, so I'm sure there's a lot of factors that play into that. But definitely like between like 3 and 5 in the afternoon is when I would get a little bit of nausea or just kind of upset stomach, not feeling good sensation. Thirdly, I had to go to the bathroom so much more. So on the day that I took on 11-DPO, I took that morning test and it was negative. And then throughout the day, you know, AF hadn't come, and so by like late afternoon I was like, you know what, I'm going to take another test tonight. And so I kept trying to hold my pee for, you know, they say like 3 or 4 hours without drinking water so it's not diluted, and then test again. And I kept trying, and I couldn't make it past like an hour, and that was a really weird symptom to me because I never really got that with Sophia. With Sophia, I felt like maybe at the end there was a little bit of like the pressure on the bladder and stuff like that, or she would kick it or whatever, but I never really felt like always having to go to the bathroom with her in the beginning. And so that definitely surprised me, and I usually, you know, can hold my bladder for a long time before I feel like I really have to go to the bathroom, or before I actually do go to the bathroom. And so yeah, so that was a really weird, so that kind of clued me in as well. So we have the acne, the nausea, the increased urination, and then cramps. So I had just cramps in my uterus area, and then a few times like I'd be sitting there and it would just kind of go into my back a little bit, and not really, it wasn't like back cramps, it was more just like pressure. I don't really know how to explain it. And then too, even now, like I get like a fullness feeling in my uterus at times, but we'll go into my 4-week symptoms in a little bit. So that was one of them. So that's the fourth one. And then mood swings. And oh my goodness, I am a pretty patient person. It takes a lot to get me upset. But there was one day, I think it was like 2 or 3 days before I got our positive test, or our positive result, and everything my husband did, it was wrong. Like, and it really wasn't. In reality, like nothing that he did was wrong, but in my head it was. And so I was just on him about so much, and thankfully, like, I was really open with him, and I was like, I am in a horrible mood today. I don't even know what's going on. I just felt so moody, and I just felt so like just like there was just this like built up pressure inside of me. Like I was just angry and just frustrated, but I didn't know what at. And so it was so weird. Like I never get that way, and so it was just a weird day, and all I wanted to do, knowing that I was like that, was like stay away from everyone because I didn't want to lash out on anyone. So that was really weird. That was totally different than my normal personality. I don't even really get mood swings during when I'm PMSing. Usually, if anything, I just get really more like inward and withdrawn, but nothing like what I had a couple days before I got our positive result. So I think that's about it for just those early pre-positive result symptoms that I had. So again, I'll just go over them again. It was acne, nausea, increased urination, cramps, and mood swings. So I just wanted to do this because I know when I was waiting, when I was in that 2-week wait, I was just scouring YouTube to see, if I could find out if I was pregnant based on what other women were experiencing or what other women were feeling. And to be honest, it's so different for everyone. So you might be feeling these types of things and it might just be PMS, or like it was for me a month ago, it might all be in your head, which I hope it's not. Obviously, I hope you have a positive, but I know the power of our minds to create up stuff, because I did it all last month. I swore I was pregnant. It was bad. But I did enjoy watching those videos also, just to kind of help me be more aware of my own body and help myself be knowledgeable of what can happen in the beginning and what does happen in the beginning. So that's why I wanted to do this video for you, to let you know what my first very early pregnancy symptoms were. I hope you all are having a great week, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye!